Hello, everybody. There's one thing I know. Well, hopefully more. This camera must be built like iron because I've had it for several years. I've dropped it I don't know how many times. I just had it do a big drop out in there. It's still filming. So keep that in mind. That's why I keep putting off the other cameras. This one just keeps going. I like it. Today, we're going to get back to the painting, and I am hoping this easel will work for me. Here we go. I think this easel's going to turn out really good. I was afraid my shaking might be a problem, but it feels so natural. So I think this is actually going to help. It'll take a little getting used to with some stuff. But let's get to tonight's plague. And the last time we had the plague of boils. And boils can be pretty painful. This was caused by Moses taking soot from the ovens and throwing it into the air, where it turned into a fine dust, and everything it came into contact with broke out in boils, man and animal, except for the Israelites. And still, the Pharaoh did not let the Israelites go. Well, God is wanting to leave no doubt with Pharaoh. He especially wants Pharaoh to get the point, but that seems to be the least of what's happening. Anyway, he tells Moses and Aaron to take another message to Pharaoh. And this one is a much stronger message, because he's determined that Pharaoh's going to come down a peg or two. That's my words, but. So they go to Pharaoh. And this is what God has told them to say. If you do not let my people go and make a sacrifice to me, or worship me in the desert, I will send hail down on you and Egypt, worse than Egypt has ever seen from before there was an Egypt until now. They have this great nation. They're at the top of the food chain as far as they're concerned. That was figurative. But anyway. So then he puts it to Pharaoh personally. I mean, he said, it's Pharaoh, this is what's going to happen. I will send this. And he says, if you do not have your people bring in their animals and get themselves in shelter, then anyone outside in that hail will die. This is going to be one heck of a hailstorm. And so then he commands Moses to raise his hand up toward the sky, which he does with his staff. He holds his staff in his hand up toward the sky. And as soon as he does that, the sky turns dark. There's lightning all over, striking the ground all through the sky. The people are scared now. His officials and his magicians, they take off running. They go get their animals, they put them in their barns or stables, and they get into their houses. And Pharaoh, he's just kind of standing there like, well, I'm the big guy. Yep, I'm the big guy. Well, the joke's going to be on him very quickly. Okay. I'm putting in the sky, and there's the dark clouds or the storm clouds. So I'm getting ready to put in some of the effects. But I might be a little out of order with where I put them in. For instance, their homes are already built and they're already there, but right now I'm putting in all this stuff first. You know that, don't you? Okay. But it's going to get very dramatic very quickly in Egypt. And they're going to be losing a lot. This is not just one of our little summer storms or one of our big thunderstorms. I mean, we've had some pretty nasty hail this year. But it wasn't enough to kill an animal. Not any animal of any real size, anyway. Although it might have injured one or two. I never heard that it did. But Pharaoh just, he doesn't care. What I'm painting right now is the castle, is his palace. I'm not doing a lot of detail other than I'm going to try to make it look somewhat marbled because it's stone and I want it to look like stone or marble, but the clouds are dark too. So you'll have to bear with me on some things. But right now we are, can I say constructing? We are painting the Pharaoh's palace. Yeah, I'm trying to put some marbling in there. Because a lot of the rock for a lot of their, what they call or thought of as their most important buildings, like the pyramids, the palace and stuff, those were quarried. They were dug out of the earth, someplace where they were naturally. So, okay, boom, here we are. I had a problem. My card in my camera, my memory, got full. And I didn't catch it. And so there was a lot I did not get on film because there was no room in the film. So I had to run that off, and then but I already had this done. So what I'm going to explain is this. If I could quit weaving it around, I don't know why I'm doing that with my camera, because I had the camera sitting on. I don't know why I'm doing that. But it's the hail and the lightning, and it does get to be a mess. This is not it's not supposed to be a pretty picture. If I were drawing a pretty picture, it would not look like this. But look at the animals on the ground, and there's people on the ground there too. And look at the blood.
I mean, this was a very bloody, deadly storm, and God sent it on them. And this time, Pharaoh went to Moses. None of this hits the Israelites. Always remember that. None of this hits the Israelites. This time, Pharaoh goes to Moses and he says, I've been wrong. I have sinned. I should have let your people go and worship your God in the desert. So I'm going to let you go. Well, he didn't. Once they saw the Israelites getting ready, preparing to go, he had a very quick change of heart, as usual. It doesn't take long for people to forget today either. I mean, we can look down on Pharaoh like he was this big bad guy, which he was, but that's immaterial and beside the point. Excuse me. The fact is that Pharaoh he cannot stand to not be the most powerful. This is why his building is so much bigger. He's got the palace. I drew him bigger in size than everybody else. If I had this better in focus, you could see his features a little better. But I mean, I even gave him little hands there. But that's not the thing. Well, and you know, he's in the foreground, and they're in the background, but they're much smaller. This is a barn. There's a couple of animals in there, and then, you know, the people or his officials and other people who were able to make it. His officials, they were smart. They ran and got there because they knew God would do what he was saying. But Pharaoh, no, he's the big man. Now, who have we known in our time that's been that way? Well, maybe not some of you younger ones. Really not. Well, this one was not in mine. But Napoleon Bonaparte, Adolf Hitler, Saddam Hussein, the Taliban, Putin, there's a lot of them. If they have the chance for that much power, they're not going to give it up easy. And that's what's happening here. And Pharaoh goes to them and he says, I'm not letting you go. This is not going to happen. I am not letting you go into the desert. You are going to stay right here and you're going to go do your work. You're going to be my slaves and you are going to go tote those rocks, make those bricks, and take care of the wheat, the corn, the barley, whatever there is for you to do. And that's what happened. Even though a lot of people and animals of Egypt died, but they're not going against their Pharaoh.